I'm Ruthie, she, they, and I play Sentinel, she, they.
I'm Will, he, him, and I play Moxie, she, her.
I'm Imi, she, her, and I play Ahmaya, also she, her.
I'm Steve, he, him. I play Ora, he, him.
I'm Sarah, she, her, and I play Freya, she, her.
Hi, I'm Mike, he, him, and I'm playing Eugene Ballantyne, he, him.
I'm Charlie, he, him, and I'm your DM. Exploring Cristamar, doing a bit of shopping, you came across two of your fellow members of the unit, one being Entin, who was very shifty with Sentinel, and then even more shifty with Freya, and he walked back to the direction of the port, Freya sneakily following behind him, and then the rest of you guys followed Loite as he ran off to an Physica, where he got his mark removed, and admitted to Moxie and Eugene that he wanted to join Ora and Entin, and he wanted to stay with them instead of going back to Dustmere.
What a sweet dude.
And so you are all in the alleyway. I'll go to Freya. So Entin, you see him walk off towards the port down the main roadway. What are you doing?
I'm gonna sneakily follow him.
Okay. Roll a stealth check. I'd say because it's light out, you probably have to stay quite far back, but...
Yeah. It's fine, I've got keen eyes.
Oh, that was so close.
It's a 5.
Okay. Yeah, you do your best. It is very light out, but you follow him back to the port, and you sort of look around the side of the port as he walks towards the dockyard where the windsong is being fixed, and as you look that way you can see that the windsong is kind of putting it back together. There's a few boards on the floor there nailing it back together. There are two of these tieflings, Ora and Entin, are around the boat talking, and you just see him make his way towards the boat. After a while, he speaks to Ora and Entin.
Can I see his mouth?
Yeah, you can. He is basically asking them how the mending is going. They're saying that they're on course to be finished at the end of the day, and he asks if he can go aboard and spend the night on the boat, and they say yeah. And then he climbs on board. The tieflings don't look too happy that he's there, but he just sort of sets up on the ship.
To be fair, these tieflings aren't happy that he's there either.
Yeah.
If he's on the ship, I'll slowly make my way back into the town.
There's stuff on the ship though.
Yeah, but it's hidden.
You gave it to Yuri, and he said he'd hide stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'll talk to Tin about it later.
Okay. The rest of you guys, are you heading to... No, you said you wanted to go to the alchemist place.
Oh yeah, Sentinel, you wanted to come as well. Does anyone else?
Yeah, no,
I'll come.
Yeah.
Well, I believe Ora said something about this person didn't like the alchemy guild, and yes, I don't wear my sigil, but probably best that we don't mention it.
That's fine.
I'm not particularly good with lions. Hopefully she won't ask me, but yeah, if we
I'm
don't
very
talk
good
about
at
it.
lying. It's cool.
Why don't you make yourself a dwarf again?
Yeah.
Oh, I could. Yeah. Yeah. Do you think that?
Your dwarf was very convincing.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, okay. And is there like a little alleyway I can go and...
You guys are, I mean, it's quite residential and quiet at this point, so you could just hide in the
We're basically
shade.
in an alleyway.
Yeah, cool. So I
We'll circle up around.
get some sugar, rub my hands, flint it in the air, and as it drops down, I cast Disguise Self.
It's the most subtle way of doing it anyway. Like, get some sugar.
And what do you look like?
So the dwarf character, so he had, from memory, mutton chops, really big nose, I think I said.
Yeah.
Sort of just wearing sort of maybe sort of blacksmithy sort of clothes. I don't know.
Yeah, nice. Looks a bit gruff.
Just really gruff.
Yeah, cool. All
But
right.
Eugene, so he still has like, I think I said that there's still a little bit of a green in his hand. Not a really subtle though, not like fluorescent,
Sure.
bright green.
Okay, so you guys...
Loite, do you want to go back and rest, or are you going to come with us? Are you going to be alright to go back by yourself?
He's like blinks away the rest of the booze from that jelly bean. And he's like, I think I'm going to head back to the boat
Yeah?
and sleep off this hangover.
You're not actually drunk, it's a magical effect. You'll feel fine tomorrow.
Oh.
Here, this is an actual nice one. This will taste of strawberry. Strawberries and cream.
Takes it, very dubious, sniffs it. Does it smell of strawberries?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he chucks it in his mouth, chews it, and he's like,
Much better.
thanks.
And the effects are.
Don't be savage.
And then he walks off. You probably see him, Freya, are you walking back towards the group, or are you...
Yeah. Well, yeah, so he doesn't have a mark anymore, right?
No, he's got a bandage on his head. Yeah. So
So Eugene, that would have been a great chance for another prank.
I'll write that down in my book.
Yeah, these beans are. There's lots of potential with these beans.
But Moxie, we were trying to do a nice thing for him. That's really...
Yes, I know.
It would have been a great
when opportunity takes itself, sometimes you just have to strike.
But not when you're comforting a really sad boy.
I'm getting lots of mixed signals, but I'll write that down. So
But
yes,
rule
the
of three.
pranks.
Rule of three. Always also the rule of three. It's funny, and then it's not funny anymore. Because the first time they fell for it, the second time, oh, what a goof. The third time they get a little bit angry. Do not go for a fourth time.
Okay, so in that instance, being the second time.
You could have gone for it, but he was sad. So maybe not. You got to read him a little bit.
Oh, okay. So those are body signals that I'm not particularly good at. Okay, I need to learn it. Okay,
We
cool.
need
I'll
to
write that
learn
down.
those.
So I just write body signals,
No other context to that
Just
at
body
all.
signals.
body language. Sorry,
No, body signals.
body signals.
That's what it's called.
Body signals.
after a while, you guys meet up with Freya again, and you kind of know the rough layout of this place. Now it's not a big place. Then you make your way to this place called Bottles, which is down the Western Road where you were dealing with the fabric guy, and it's down one of the small, like one of the larger offshoots. It's in two different boroughs that have been linked, and there's this big curtain that's covering the place. And at the moment it's pinned up on the side, and you can see in. There's a lounging area, and there's no one in that space at the moment. This carpeted space. There's like a shisha thing in the corner that's just sat there.
Before we go in, I put my arm in front of Moxie and go, hands to yourself. You ask and you pay the nice people if you want to buy stuff. I know it looks super fun in here, but I don't trust you around super fun things.
I don't steal stuff. I pay.
Do we hear that?
Yeah, but also
Do I believe her?
But also, I don't just want you like trying some shisha, all right? You're not old enough for shisha. You can have shisha when you're 21.
So as you walk in, you have this conversation about age of consent, like an age of responsibility, and
Moxie will never reach the age of responsibility in my eyes.
Amaya's just 19 and like sidling into the door trying to avoid this conversation entirely as well.
You could do whatever you want. You're not my baby sister.
I am 45.
But you will not be touching the shisha.
so entering, you go. There's an archway in this lounge space that leads into this second room. There are lots of bottles and cages on the walls, and you see bustling around a lady. She's quite short. She's about 5'4". She's got this massive frizzy sun-bleached hair that's like a cloud, and she's wearing a set of robes that were probably once quite colourful, but now they look a little bit faded. And she's got this huge pair of glasses on her nose. Hello. Are you
Hi.
here to? Yes.
Oh, sorry. No one responded, so I just, out of sympathy, I said hello.
Hello. Yes. What can
Hello.
I get you?
I don't know.
What have you got here? We've
What can
come
she get you?
tourists.
Well, I mean, we sell potions and other things.
My friend here wanted to come and visit.
All right.
We'd heard great things about. I think you met our friend. Did you tell us about it? You did, didn't you? You mentioned that you'd come here.
Yeah,
So
I told
you-
Eugene about it.
And then Eugene says,
But I said to him,
Not
don't
allowed
mention you're
niggas
from the
from-
Alchemist Guild.
That's
because
right.
she didn't like that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
She was originally part of the Alchemist Guild.
Okay. Well, that's good. I always like referrals.
So, your wares.
Well,
We are purveyors.
I mean, it depends what you're after, really. Have you got anything in mind? We have potions for healing. We have potions for...
Find these potions. You identify these 2 poisons.
Identify? Well, I can definitely do that. It'll take me a little bit of time, and I'll take those around the back.
Oh, you can identify them up front, surely.
Oh, is that so? Well, maybe for a little extra.
How much extra?
I need to find out how much it costs.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't think, to be honest, it's going to be a crazy amount of money.
We don't
Because
have
it's...
identify, do we?
I do.
The poisons go away!
So I was thinking, it's like Eugene stood right there.
Perhaps
He
not.
never does
Again,
it.
boring.
Yeah, that's the thing.
He just experiments instead.
Perhaps not, then.
But what poisons do you have? I'm always intrigued, as you can see.
Well, it depends on your budget, really.
What's your most expensive poison? And we'll round it back from there.
It's an uncomfortable question in a place that's inhabited by criminals.
We're not criminals.
You can trust us, wink. Really badly,
Roll persuasion.
I'm not trying to I'm trying to do shit persuasion, which would in turn persuade.
Oh, good God.
Plus.
Okay, I'm getting kicked out. That was a nat one.
What was that persuasion?
Second person
Yeah.
to get kicked out of it.
13.
Okay.
I mean, all I said was we're not criminals, so she can believe what she wants.
Or do you just have a price list? Just have a
You got a
price
menu.
You got a menu and a price list, and I can just stand in silence, and that'll probably
Here
be
it is.
better.
Okay. Well, at least give me a direction. Are you looking for poisons? Are you looking for potions that heal, enhance? Are you looking for other things, slightly more miscellaneous items?
Well, I am, but I'll let them go first.
Okay.
3 guesses what I'm here for.
I'd like to know about your miscellaneous items and your poisons, because I imagine someone else wants to know about the healing shit.
yeah, miscellaneous and
Well,
and healing.
we have this, and she goes over to one of the cages on the wall, and she pulls out.
Also, Zeal still.
He just.
Oh, whilst this is going on, I'm just looking at the shelves and just reading everything as
Yeah,
I can see.
okay.
And
It looks like she has a shorthand, but you recognise some of the scribblings. It seems pretty legit. Like she's even noting different strengths, little notes that are obviously just for her. So it actually comforts you that she seems like she knows what she's doing. And this, she pulls out from one of the cages. It's like a padlocked cage on the wall, which is a lot. Takes out this. It's a brown bottle of sort of a bell-shaped bottle with a cork, and she gives it a quick shake, and she's like, this one here is quite interesting. It's and as she shakes it, you can see that these layers sort of blend together like brown and silver. This enables you to climb as fast as you can walk up a vertical surface, and then she puts that back and she goes up to another one. This one, quite simply, this one's like a clear bottle. It's a smaller one, and it's orange with flecks of something in it. This one will help you, enable you to breathe fire. Puts that back. I can go on.
How
I
much was
love
the
this.
spidery climb one?
The potion of climbing.
Potion of climbing.
Spider
That's,
climb.
that's 75 gold.
Okay, you can carry on now. I just want to know how much that was.
Okay. Let me
Give
find
us some
more.
choice highlights.
We
Do you have anything that enhances the flavour of food?
Well, I mean, it's not really a potion, is it? I mean, I tend to use salt, but burn.
Salt isn't the only thing you can add to food to make it taste good.
Okay, what kind of thing are you after? I don't really have
I was about to say that.
MSG. Potion of monosodium glutamate.
Yeah.
Or just anything you have that is unusual or unique to this region.
Soy sauce. Oyster sauce.
I'm afraid I don't really sell ingredients. I sell potions.
Do you have
and
any
poisons.
potions that make
A flavour.
or poisons that
have
make
we got a
things taste
potion
good?
of tastiness?
Yeah, do you have a potion of
The
tastiness?
dust of deliciousness.
We're fresh out.
I tried. Thank you very much.
Sorry, I would recommend trying the Devil's Rattle. Sometimes they have some things in the kitchen you might be able to.
But they don't
Pinch.
because the asshole didn't let me.
We'll ask him again. That's all
I
right.
apologise. I mean, there's not really anything I can do about that.
No, sorry, that's not fun. But that was misdirected anger, not at you.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, that's
Miscellaneous
good to know.
potions.
Well, we also got a relatively standard potion of healing, which usually goes quite well.
Potion of healing is how much?
I actually don't believe that is right, so I'm going to double check on my other.
Unless you inflated the prices. I think it's like 50 for. It's 50 for a.
Yeah, but I wanted to check that it's not way out. Yeah, so it's 75 gold.
Does she have like a lucky dip? Like a
Like a
reduced
carpet, like
This is literally what I was going to.
Reduced.
Do you have any potions that you don't know what they do?
If Eugene's not swapping the labels, then it's a waste of time.
She's like, I am afraid I am from the guild and we do not operate under a wonder what it does, basically.
That doesn't sound right.
It's interesting because we know people who are, but they're just like, yeah, let's just see what this one does.
Oh, you just know people from the guild.
Yeah.
Just as you that's quite interesting. I was hearing about a member of the guild last night. Is it the same person?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know who the person you were talking to is. So I don't know.
I know, we find out.
But she doesn't know I was talking to her though. I've only
That's
told
true.
Eugene. I've only told
Did Eugene say anything then?
I said, I said,
Oh,
don't mention the guild
I thought
because
you did.
Ora said that she doesn't like.
Oh my god.
You didn't roll that properly.
That wasn't a roll. It went up your arm.
Like rolled up your arm.
It's really good. It's really good. It was actually all right though.
Roll it again. If you didn't, I'll leave it up to you if you fucked it or not.
It was a 15. Do I reroll?
No, keep accurate.
Okay, yeah, it's 15.
Well, maybe it was another member of the guild that's several hundred miles away from here.
You get all sorts of dodgy people coming through here, so like, don't put that on me.
Well, yes, and not many guild members, I should know.
Poisons.
Anyway,
What
back to our
poisons
usual
do you-
programming.
She looks at you all a little bit suspect.
The prices just went up.
Yeah.
I look back at her a little bit suspect.
Well, I apologise if I come across as a little bit rough around the edges.
It's fine.
Anyway, I have more expensive items if that's what you're after. Much more interesting potions than how to climb up a wall.
I mean, climbing walls are fucking cool. More expensive. Oh, might be a bit out of our price range if we go too more
Yeah.
expensive.
I see.
Oh god. No.
You sure?
Yes.
Do you have things that, like reagents, as it were, so you can create your own potions?
Yes, we do. I do have a little glut of them. I can go and check though. It's not something that I tend to sell. What would you be using those for exactly?
Well, you know, I whilst in the desert, I managed to acquire some cacti water, and I've read in a book before that if you add another reagent to it, you can create all manner of things. And I just want to give it a go.
Do you mind if I have a look at your work and see if it's of any I may be interested in purchasing?
I get the vial out and show the little droplet of water that's in there.
Okay. I'm just opening the purchasing by purchase. Oh, yes. What reagent did you say this was?
I believe it is a common reactive reagent.
Interesting. Okay. Well, this is actually not bad. She takes the cork off and smells it, like whiffs it over towards her nose. Would you be willing to sell it?
Oh, I hadn't really considered it, but what would you offer?
15 gold.
And if I was to buy reagents of you, to add to this, how much would you sell that for?
Well, let me have a look. And she goes behind the desk and she pulls out a locked crate, and you hear the locks popping off, and she pops it onto the desk, and you see this case of different vials. There's got to be between 20 and 30. And she's just running her finger down the tops of the corks. She's well, we've got lots of common reagents actually, and we've also got some essences, and I have a few uncommon and rare reagents as well. It depends what you're after, really.
Just something similar to mine. I say I've never collected my own reagents for out in the field, as it were. So just something fairly basic.
Okay, well, I can always top you up with glass vials, but...
Oh yes, I wouldn't mind actually buying 3 empty vials.
Yes, no, I'll do you 3 gold per... 3 gold for the 3. Well, I have an uncommon essence here, which is markedly more expensive than your reagent, but it is a wonderful example, perfect for use of alchemy and enchanting. It'd be 150 gold.
However tempting it is, I don't think I would be able to afford that at this time anyway.
Okay, well, the other thing actually, and she pulls out a thing, and this is a magical ink that can be used in scribing in scrolls. It shouldn't be in here actually, but would you be interested in that? That's 15 gold. We could do an even trade.
Yes, we would, wouldn't we?
Well, and what does this magical ink allow you to do?
Oh, it's mainly for use in creating spell scrolls.
Oh, okay, yeah, fine. That's what you mean.
Which I think we'd need for spellbook.
I don't believe I'd get use out of that. However, my friend here, I think, would really appreciate that item.
Oh, is this yes?
So it's my spellbook, and you need your fancy inks.
Oh, what a strange little group you are. Well, I mean, I'd be happy to sell this as 15 gold.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Sure.
Doesn't actually say on here, but I think it's basically enough for one. I think, but we can always, if that's wrong, we can always come back to it. Okay, yeah,
depends on what school there's.
Yeah.
There's half the gold for necromancy.
Of course, because of yours. Yeah. So that's 15 gold for the.
15 gold's worth of. Yeah.
I think yes. Yes, and in terms of poisons, we have an array of basic poisons that will kill small creatures, kill large creatures.
You got any sleeping poison?
She has a dig. Let me have a look. Yes, I do have this, and she pulls it out. It's a weak potion, I'm afraid, but it will knock people out for a fair few hours. This one is 25 gold.
Oh yeah, we'll have that.
Sure. Okay.
Can you afford that?
If you want to buy it for me, you can.
Yeah, go on.
Oh, thanks.
For my sister.
How much in it? Just one.
25 gold for the one. Yeah.
No, but how much potions worth? So if I was to use, say, a blow dart.
It's enough for one dose, basically. Yeah.
Of which I am proficient.
Nice.
I'm trying to find the details for it, but I'll just have to have another look. But that is quite, you would know, maybe Eugene would know that's quite cheap for a poison, but yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Can I help you with anything else?
Should we go back to the reagents? I would like to purchase just a common one, if that's okay, to have a
common
play
reagent,
with it.
Yes. She starts fiddling through.
Do you have anything that maybe collected in a sort of a desert region such as this one?
Yes, I have an array of common reagents. Is there specific types of reagent, or is it? So you said you've got common reactive.
Yes.
Yeah. So she's basically got all of the available ones. Yeah. So it's basically they're all 15 gold each. So it depends.
So which one? There was a reactive.
Oh god.
Alchemy.
It's been a while.
So essence, is that different? So
Yes.
Okay.
I'm just gonna have a look.
You can check out multiple things with identify, can't you? You just do the ritual and then
Yeah.
pop
There's
up
quite a few
multiple
actually. It's curative, reactive, and poisonous.
Curative. Oh, curative, did you say? Yeah.
Which is obviously more of a healing.
Yeah.
Yes, we have all three: curative, reactive, and poisonous.
Yeah, curative would be good, please.
Wonderful. Are you doing a trade, or are you going to purchase it?
Purchase, please. How much would you be after?
15 gold.
Yes, that would be good, thank you. I'll take that.
Shopping montage.
Nice. Okay.
Anyone for any more?
I'm not after something weird.
Ooh!
Pairing for level. So I'm looking for like Rune Stones or like divining cards or something like that. Bones.
Oh,
Knuckle
and
bones.
she clicks the case of reagents down, puts them back under the desk. Bones I can do. Cards,
Is this all right?
Not really my thing, but I can do bones. And what was the first thing? Rune stones.
Yeah.
Not something I've seen. Not something I tend to use, but I do have bones.
Marked sticks. Marked bones. Worth at least 25 GP.
Are they like divining sticks or no? I'm afraid I don't have anything like that. But I can do bones, knuckle bones. I have a few of those. They're old. It depends what you want them for, really.
I mean, I want to use them for divining.
Yeah, she
To
goes.
cast a specific spell that requires these as the spell components.
She goes into like an old set of drawers at the back and starts rifling through them. And there's a little one wrapped in some old newspaper. And she hands them to you. And she's like, "Let me be honest with you, but I wouldn't know what to charge you. And they're taking up space, so you can just have these. They're just bones. I don't need them."
Are they worth at least 25 GP?
Well, you could probably do some stuff on them.
For the sake of this, yes. It's just
cool.
that there's nothing that she needs them for.
Free bones.
Free bones.
Yay!
And I feel bad charging you for 25 of her shitty, dusty bones. So. Cool.
Nice.
Okay. Well, can I do anything else for you? Any other poisons, potions? Anything a little bit more interesting?
Have you got anything that you can add to back, just to make it a bit more?
Oh, yes. Depends what you're after. We have some of this, and she pulls out like a stick of what you know as lick.
Oh yeah, I know lick.
Yeah, which is a particularly potent. A particularly potent drug.
Yeah,
that is quite popular.
The name of it sounds like a dog treat.
Or lick.
I just want something to take the edge off. So what she got was kind of like, I just a nice mellow.
Well, we have got a couple of different types of tobacco. One of which my own personal favourite. I added a little bit of something to it. It enables you to glimpse through into places that quite aren't normally there. It's quite strange.
Ooh.
I perk up at this as well.
And how much for
For the tobacco?
Yeah, for that. Your
Well,
special.
I haven't got that much left, and she starts like looking through again. Did I find how much tobacco cost, or did I just make it up?
It cost something like 8 gold.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I could do enough for. It depends how you're going to smoke it.
Oh, cigarettes. I roll my own.
We'll do, and she sort of haggles with you. Enough for 3 would be the equivalent of about 5 gold.
Cool. And then has she got anything that's just like a nice mellow, just chill out?
Just tobacco.
Well, not tobacco.
Oh right, drugs. Drug.
All of this needs to have a content warning on it, by the way. We need to put drugs on like these last 3 episodes.
The stuff that you bought, I'll put in a few gold as well, because...
Ooh, are we going to go... Are we going to trip?
Believe so. So I'll put 2 gold into it.
That was annoying.
Literally gonna have to write this down when I upload this episode.
This one will leave you relatively satisfied in that regard. It is a little bit... I wouldn't go... If you've never had it before, then take it easy.
Oh, does it sound like anything... Does it look like anything I've seen before?
Possibly, because it's something she's made, it's hard to say.
Okay.
But lick is like the opposite. It's a very much stimulant. So
I don't want a stimulant. I want
yeah.
Cool. So I'll have like I'll basically do like 5 gold worth of our trip.
I put 2 gold in.
So I'll okay, and then I'll do another, let's say 5 gold worth of.
Okay, so 6 like cigarettes worth, effectively. 6 spliff worths.
And that would be 8 gold. There you go.
Cool.
Enjoy that. Oh, no,
Okay.
not add. Remove. There you go.
Right.
Has everyone brought it in? Because I want to say something at the end, and also I don't want to get us kicked
Yeah, I'm
out.
done.
Oh
Well, it's been a pleasure doing business with you.
Did you? Sorry, I when I was perusing your wares, did you say you were from the Alchemy Guild?
Yes.
Current active member of the Alchemy Guild.
Not quite, no. It depends why you're asking, if I'm being honest. I don't like to advertise.
That's fair enough, but as somebody that I get out my sigil, sort of flick it and probably drop it on the floor because I can't catch. I haven't been there in a while, and I don't even know if I've been kicked out or not. But yeah, I was at least once, or maybe still am, part of the guild. I don't know how the politics works there, so. I'm not judging, by the way. I'm not trying to dob you in, so to speak. I'm just genuinely interested.
Well, I'm not getting a roll persuasion check.
That's 7. So 7. I thought that was a 1 for a minute.
Yes. I'm not getting a terrible feeling from you. It seemed as though you yourself, as you say, have not been there a while. It explains why you can create that reagent. I won't lie, I was a little suspicious.
And I dropped the disguise.
Ah,
My friend that came in and probably, I think he got quite high in your shop yesterday. talked
Yes,
about me.
I remember.
I do apologise about him.
handsome fellow.
Gotta get fucked. Do you want us to slip your number?
My what?
Your fantasy equivalent of
My address?
Some sort of
do you want
business card.
Do you want us to drop him a cheeky DM?
We have to send
We've
it.
got a few more like hours here. We could send it back if you want.
He does mean well, and he is a good guy.
Yeah, or late.
I see you are his...
engaged.
I see you are his friend from the guild, I assume.
Yes, yeah,
Sure,
but I don't know if he knows the whole story. As I say, I don't know if I'm part of the guild or not anymore. I don't know how the politics work there.
Well,
Guild member in exile, should we say?
in exile. Very interesting. I would class myself the same way. Fuck them, the lot of them. Fuck the nobles and their politics, is what I say.
Amen, sister.
Yes, they're absolutely poisoning the water. It has just become a trade of sigils. The more money you have, the more expensive the sigil you can afford. Nothing to do with skill anymore in the guild.
There were I have to admit, there were quite a few nobles when I was there.
Yes, it's become an absolute whole of nepotism. Is the reason I'm out here. For a moment last night, I thought Seraphy was finally coming to finish the job. That's your guild master, yeah. Finally here to finish the job. To be honest, she starts wiping her glasses down. Why are you all here? It is very disconcerting having a strange group of you like this and an alchemist with you.
Well, has anyone got like easy access? Oh, actually, I'll just. No, I was gonna do something different. I'm gonna drop my disguise self, which is the thing that just covers my thingy.
Oh yeah.
It's like.
Ah, I see. All of you.
Yeah, we're a troop of our stuff, so we're.
Right. Well, and a strange one at that. Well,
I take that as a compliment.
as long as you, specifically, Mr. Alchemist, sir.
Eugene.
I am Bottle. It's not my real name, and I won't be telling you it.
Respect.
Some of my friends always told me to have a fake name, but I think I would just wouldn't be able to.
If you're an exile, absolutely. I would advise.
Do you have any advice what I should call myself?
Well, I mean, my one's not exactly creative, so just whatever you fancy, really. Something memorable.
Okay, I'll have a think.
We'll help you. We can help you work one out, bud.
I think I would just sort of laugh if I said my name and not.
Fentiman.
Okay, so she's not going to help.
It's going to be bird related.
What is the sort of latest news out of the guild? When I left, it was a long time ago, and I must admit, one of the reasons I'm down here is because my own work was absolutely against that of the rest of the guilds. So
there was obviously I've been away for some time as well, but there was a newspaper article about some sort of attack on some alchemist members in Dustmere.
Oh yes, terrible business. Yes. No doubt that it was all that lot in the whatever it was, that crime house somewhere. Poor initiates come down. And
3 of them murdered.
Yes, terrible. But I mean, well, I personally never visited Dustmere much. I just came straight down into the desert and hid myself away, and this is where I will remain, I think.
Obviously, I know you sound like the sort of person that's not going to tell me specifics, but what sort of thing were you working on that they didn't like?
Well, I wanted to use and discover sigils that were not, and unfortunately they locked them behind money. Undiscovered. I believe that undiscovered sigils are the secrets of the way the universe is engineered. I simply wished to open that door, and then they absolutely disagreed. I wanted that everyone should have access to all sigils at all times.
So when you said the word door again, I sort of just freeze up again. So,
yeah.
That's a very interesting hypothesis. It could well be true.
Yes, and they want them hidden behind coin, which is the way that they work. Unfortunately. Anyway.
Did you ever discover anything about, these hypothetical doors?
Well, there was... oh wow, this brings me back, thinking about this. Unfortunately, they have them very much locked away, so when you were to go into the tomes and look for new sigils that were maybe leaked into the old books and they hadn't quite found them and locked them behind all of the expensive walls, there was one thought experiments that combined artificing and alchemy and writing as though it were prose as opposed to our own sigils, and that was the last thing that I was working on, was trying to change how sigils work and make them more of a language. But
it's funny you mention that, but I believe I read the same book myself.
Oh, really?
So, yes.
The Lock of Tomes was what it was. An interesting thought experiment. Well,
yeah, I agree.
A small world.
Is there a long
Yeah, there is a bit of a stare.
Especially,
do they make out?
I think she would look at you guys.
We're all three just... Are they? Should we leave? Should we leave?
Is this flirting?
Should we
Like, are they...
She does look at you guys in a way that says, I'm not saying anything else with this many people in the room, kind of thing.
We'll
sidle out.
we'll
We'll leave you guys to do what
are you
gonna
do?
Eugene.
I clap Eugene heartily on the back.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
Alright,
chat business.
You got this, buddy.
You got it.
We'll wait outside for you for when you're done.
Are you not interested in these thought experiments?
Well, yeah, but I think this seems like more of a... It seems a bit above our pay grade.
Oh, I don't believe that for 1 minute. But,
I don't understand most of the words she said.
well, I believe that for 1 minute, yes.
Oh, you've hurt Amaya's feelings now. Amaya run out crying. I'm gonna have to we'll go and deal with that. Amaya, it's fine. He doesn't mean it.
No, it's not fine.
Take this jelly bean before you go.
I'm not touching your jelly beans.
Offer you jelly beans to bottle, she might.
Let's go.
Eventually, jelly bean.
I would like to step to the
Jelly bean.
window and redo let's please.
Okay, stealthily.
Okay.
Okay, so roll stealth check.
No.
Against the glass.
I'm gonna guide myself.
Yeah,
Finally.
Good. 12 and a 1.
14.
Okay, yeah. You think that you're hidden. They don't look over. She doesn't look over at you. And when they leave, the bottle's like, well, I mean, I must admit, I would normally be quite close-lipped about this kind of thing, but what did you specifically read the Lock of Tomes, or is this something new to you?
I did read most of it, didn't I?
I think so. It depends how. I mean, it depends what you want to say. She seems very keen about it, so.
I've never really said this to anyone, but I was reading it just because I found some sort of reference to my papa in there.
Oh, is this so? What
Yeah.
kind of reference was that?
He wrote some of it, I believe.
Fascinating. Lock of
And I didn't
Tomes.
know that, that's what he did, and
course.
I was just very, very intrigued by it.
How old is your papa?
Well, us gnomes do live some time, so he's definitely over 200 years old. Oh, no, it'll be about 150, I think I said.
Interesting. This is interesting. The copy that I read when I was in the guild it specifically spoke about a lock, an artifice lock that was created using books upon books upon books of sigils, enough to make a lifetime of writing, and to create an imbuement of such power, it would then require another lifetime of writing to convince it to open. And I was under the impression that this was incredibly old, and maybe your father wrote on it as a sort of commentary, or
Yeah, perhaps that might be my mistake. Perhaps it was, perhaps he was referencing the work instead.
amazing. Was he an
I don't know.
alchemist?
I don't know what he did before I was around. I believe he had some sort of artifice background as well, but he in my lifetime he was being a sweet maker.
Oh, how wonderful! I always wanted to do something as sort of quaint and small. as that.
Serious work sometimes.
Oh, is
my
it?
blow dart and I prepare
I bounce a jelly bean on the floor to her.
Oh, she absolutely doesn't catch it. yeah. Oh no, it's
jelly bean in the face.
well. How funny! How comical.
And that one's I don't know, mango flavoured with loads of popping candy.
Well, I'll be sure to eat this one after dinner. But it has been fascinating speaking with you, Eugene. Oh, you didn't tell her your name, did you?
I
Yeah,
did say
you
Eugene,
did.
didn't say second name.
Yeah, sorry, I'm yeah.
You two bottles, wasn't it?
Just the one bottle.
Bottle, singular bottle.
Yes.
Bottle.
Well, I best let you get on your way. I would be careful. Speaking of these kinds of things at the guild, they, in my experience, were very much conservative in their ideology of new kinds of alchemy that change the way that they want it to be.
Before I go, did you ever follow up this book? Did you ever look into it elsewhere, or was it just this one reference of this lock?
Well, I did. It's one thing that I found which sort of stopped my research was, unfortunately, writing like that is simply how sigilism simply does not work. Where Common and Basilm and Elvish can write beautiful prose, it would be impossible to do that with sigilism, and to write books upon books upon books of sigils that require convincing to unlock. But it does intrigue me, and
You and me both.
yes.
Well, anyway, perhaps if you ever discover any more and write your own book about it, I'll be fascinated to to read this. But anyway, it was lovely meeting you, Bottle.
You too, Eugene.
Cool. Take care.
Safe on your travels.
Thank you.
Okay.
Did they kiss? Freya!
You did catch all of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a lot
Just
of
very awkward.
sigil speak, really. Didn't understand a lot of it.
Sigil speak.
We should go collect Ora.
Yes.
I was going to say, it's probably been enough time now, the day is getting on where you've had a sleep, a long rest.
Have we got anything else we want to do today? Anyway.
Meanwhile,
Yeah, so you're probably stirring at this point.
yeah, so I'll get up, seeing they're not back. I'll leave the encyclopedia on. I'm assuming there's like a bedside table or something.
Yeah.
And I would like to just like origami a crane or something and just leave it there for Eugene. And then go and see if I can find the devil.
Oh, it was a present.
And then he's going to fire a chaos bolt at him.
Oh,
That's so cute.
Did you write the letter?
Most of it.
That we were discussing.
I just need to find an opportune time to give it to Ora.
So,
I was going to get it before I like myself writing a letter.
wait, did you give him the letter?
No. I saw you first, so I need to finish it. But besides, I think Eugene's still a little bit like unsure how to sort of give it to him anyway, so it'll be a while before.
So you make your way downstairs, and Denny's there, and he's like, "Oh, Mr. Ora, I've got a note for you from some sandsailor," and it's basically just a note. It says, "Boat's fixed, ready to leave early in the morning." It's just signed Tin.
Okay. Is the devil, is he available?
You could go have a knock. He knows you guys, doesn't he? Rather you than me.
Yeah, I'll go and knock on the door. Or
Okay, yeah.
is it a door or a canopy or something?
Yeah, so
Please tell me he's blazed off his nut.
He took you up through the inside of the rattle, up a few floors, and there is a curtain over the door, but you just push it aside and knock, and you sort of hear a thump and someone dropping something, and then he comes to the door.
Tinfoil hat on.
Yeah, he's wearing the same dark green jacket and frilly shirt, and he looks a little bit worse for wear. Hello. Have you decided? I was expecting you all this morning, to be honest.
The others have gone to see the sights and look for some bits and pieces for our journey back.
The sights. What a strange thing to say. Well, how can I help you then? I'm presuming you'll be after. Are you here for the gold now, or did you want my favour? Or you see, I like to close deals, and this one is very much open.
Yes, I'm here to finish that off. We will be leaving early tomorrow.
Wonderful.
There was we talked about the Void Blight.
Ah, yes, come in.
My information doesn't necessarily relate to the Void Blight, not as far as I know anyway. But we discussed the Edge, and I wondered if you'd be interested in an exchange of information.
Oh, well, always. Would you like a drink?
Yeah, why not?
Wonderful, and he pulls out
Parched.
no breakfast.
I did have breakfast with you and then went to bed.
4 PM, he's just woken up. Just 2 wooden tumblers, and he just glugs whiskey.
Cool.
Hands it over. Cheers. Ora, yes?
Yes.
Just takes a sip. How about this? You tell me something I don't know about you, about the Edge, and if I find it interesting, then I will tell you something.
I've been beyond the Edge.
Well, now that is a strange thing to say. How have you been beyond the Edge? Are you? Does he know you're an Edge Watcher?
Yes, he knows I'm an Edge Watcher.
I didn't think that was your role as a Watcher. You're not supposed to go in.
This was before I was a watcher. A past life, you could say.
Well, I did say something interesting. It doesn't have to be complete fantasy. He drinks. Everyone knows it's not possible. And if you did go in, then you wouldn't be coming back.
Well, I believe I did go in, and I'm going to take off the sigil. The old sigil that I came from the edge with. And I'll just... Is it like a table? I'll just
Yeah,
put it
yeah,
down.
like a coffee table
Yeah.
between the two of you. You're like on the sofas or something.
I don't know what that past life was, but I was an edge watcher because they found my body. It came from the edge. This was one of the things with me.
Well, I must admit, what is this? Do you remember what this looked like? This the sigil?
Yeah, it's the one with is it the partially covered up?
Yeah, with
eye.
like an eye with a sort of crescent shape over it, and yeah. Yes, I'm afraid. I mean, it's a strange looking thing, and it is old. Fine, I'll believe that you're telling me the truth. It's a strange thing to say, and a strange prospect going in and coming out of the edge. What would you like to know? Maybe I can help.
The Void Blight. You said it's a type of magic. We found something in the desert, sort of. Someone we came across spoke of something called the entanglement.
Okay.
I believe you have a picture over there. I'll nod to his conspiracy board and the picture of Morag.
Ah. This is a word I've not heard before, entanglement. But that creature is something that I discovered in the desert.
Morag.
Morag. A name I do not know. Was she one of these things? Or he?
Somewhat. She was with a family of tieflings. Called them her children. She said she was from another place, but didn't elaborate.
Yes. I must admit these things confuse me. My knowledge of the Void Blight is different to that of the creatures that I found. I believe that they are wrapped up in your Duke's plans, some sort of invasion of strange creatures that they've found God knows where, but...
Some sort of flood.
Maybe flood of these things would certainly be a terrifying prospect, and something that I imagine that would be quite desirable for a duke looking to overthrow an empire. And he starts getting super hyped and goes up to the board and starts scribbling stuff down.
I will join him at the conspiracy board, and on the way there I will put on a tinfoil hat.
I'm afraid I can't help you, Ora, in any more than you already know. The Void Blight, I did think it was similar to the Edge a long time ago, but it's absolutely fundamentally different. Did I tell you about? I can't remember if he told you about the Vidaeans last week or not. When as he talks about, you would already know that. Actually, you probably wouldn't know, but the Vidaeans split from when the Basilman Empire, which was the empire before Asildia.
I think you.
So that split apart into a load of different races. So the Vidaeans themselves were green-skinned orcs, humans, a couple of other races from the Outlands, and then there were the Isildians, which you all know as sort of half-elves, elves, and halflings and dwarves were sort of across both. They then went to war. The Vidaeans were then wiped out by this magical plague or something that was, and pharaohs and it was of their own making. And then the Isildians became the hub of knowledge. And back then, the emperor led the Isildians fighting the Vidaean king, powerful sorcerer whose name eludes my research. But the Void Blight remains a shadow over the ruins of Simyasaki, whereas the edges are frozen, tarry orb on the horizon. He looks out the window that we all know and love. I think it goes somewhere, not a gateway, but a rent. That's why the prospect of you going in and coming back is rather interesting.
This gateway, it would need to be powered.
Oh, it's ancient and beyond my understanding.
Just interesting. Cristamar gathers coil stones, and we've seen shards that can have powerful magic.
Yes, at Duke's, coil stones have many uses and large amounts are, I was under the impression that it was not illegal to gather such large amounts. It was not legal, other than the Lapidarists Guild themselves.
The newspaper spoke of a ball in Dustmere.
Yes.
I have a contact for noble family in Dustmere, heart of mine. He may be able to get us beyond the walls into this ball to find maybe information.
I see. A noble man of the Edgewatchers. I underestimated you. Well,
I could reach out and find a way to get ourselves in.
I would very much like to remain in contact with you, Ora. And he goes over to his now very slim supply of sending sticks. He's like, please use this to contact me. And if you get invitations to this ball, I would like one. And he hands you a sending stick.
I could ask for us now. Obviously, I would.
Oh, well.
I may need another to communicate with you once we return.
I mean, if you wish to use contact someone now.
We'll happily contact them now if obviously we may need to reach out to you on the way back as well.
And you believe he's really hesitant to give you this to use now. He's like, and you think that this using
we
this?
We want as many as we can. We've been plumbing this guy for every single one.
I'm sure you. Do you have a way to disguise yourself or?
Oh, I'm very well equipped in that regard, as socially speaking.
Then I could merely ask for a party of 7 of us or 8 of us to get in there and see what strings I can pull.
Well, okay. This is I'm running low on these. Okay.
Get all of them.
Roll a persuasion check. I want to do it without, but go on. Roll a persuasion check.
Any advantage?
Yes.
Natural 20.
Nice.
Give you all of my sending sticks.
He hands you the sending stick. He may have one left. It's in his drawer.
It's 24.
It's like a little cigar-shaped thing. There's not many in there now. He hands it to you.
Okay. I need to work this out.
Would you mind if I stay and watch?
Of course. That was part of our deal.
Quite. Yes.
I need to actually work out in my head exactly what I'm going to say as well.
Don't forget, I also mentioned to you otherwise that there is another avenue if you can't get them.
Yeah.
So it's not the end of the world.
is it okay if I carry on discussing other stuff before I actually send it?
Yeah, that's fine.
Just while I'm thinking it through in my head.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I really do appreciate this, and I'm sure we'll be able to get away in there. I talked about the edge. I was in a place called World's End.
Right, that does ring a bell. Oh, this is an old hub right on the edge, isn't it? I know this. Yes. Abandoned.
Long abandoned. While we were, this was 5 years ago now. I was on a training exercise with the Edge Watchers. They like everyone prepared because who knows what's coming and when. I don't know how familiar you are. They have a thing called blooms, which emerge from the edge now and then. Different classes. A class 2 bloom emerged when we were nearby. It's a parasite. It infects people.
He's like writing stuff down now.
There was another party closer to where him. When we arrived, they had been infected by this.
And what did it look like? Did it look like these creatures? He points to the devil thingies.
No. All it left was a small black mark, like a hole in the back of the in the head, behind the ear.
Oh.
People seem to be able to resist it, to keep some control of themselves, but it infected one of the new recruits, and he resisted it for a while, but he turned and attacked us. And I see him writing this down. For your notes, massive blunt force trauma to the head or silver will kill it.
Well, I hope that I don't get close enough to see behind their ear, which is a terrifying prospect.
They don't seem to like sunlight particularly.
Oh, we'll be fine here then. I'll just keep the doors locked at night.
There was something else that happened. Something else came from the edge, and it struck me. I saw, I guess, what could be described as a vision. And I'll tell him what I saw in that vision, and the words about binding it in the sword and then being thrown back out.
Yeah.
When I emerged from the edge, I had this, and I'll show him the mark on the abdomen, the wound. I don't know what you make of it. One that has looked at it felt like it was sort of an infection of some sort, and it was fighting against the other part of my body. They were fighting for control, but seemed in balance. And then shortly after that, while we were in the desert, something changed, and there was sort of this power, and I will cast shield, and I will...
Okay.
And you see sort of the shadows all pull together and to form this shield for a moment, and then it just break apart into sort of smoky black feathers.
He's like nodding. He's like he stopped writing, and he gets up and he's like, He goes over to the table and opens up takes the top off of the canister, and it's like shaking and tingling, and he like pours himself a massive glass of whiskey, and he's like, yes, and just downs it.
My worry is this stems from the infection.
Well, it would seem so, and that is
And you mentioned a sorcerer.
a sorcerer, the Emperor.
No, a sorcerer.
The man,
An old sorcerer that you couldn't find a name for.
Ah, the Emperor of the Videan Empire. A man whose name eludes research.
Her name was... I asked someone very old. Their last words asked who I asked who I was, and all they said was Enthor. I don't know if it's a name or...
I've not heard that name before, my friend. The Emperor, the Videan Emperor, would have died 1,000 years ago. Let me just check. Yes, 1,000 years ago. It is something that I would recommend looking into in places where there are more
books.
Devout scholars. Yes, books, I guess. Because if I cannot find this emperor's name, then maybe others are the same. But your story of your being struck by something from the edge, is this a reason that you are no longer there? You fled from it? Is it...
Yes,
oh God, it's not contagious, is it?
Not that I'm aware of. I fled 5 years ago. I plan to stop in Dustmere, make some coin, and continue to travel as far from the edge as possible, but life had other plans for me and I stayed. It was only a few weeks ago when there was another dream and nightmare of this roiling black and purple and the eternal flood.
Oh my, this is all very...
I felt my family was in danger and perhaps I should seek answers in the desert, and I seem to have found some, but they've raised more questions than I had before.
Well, I may not have the answers, but you will almost definitely find some answers in Dustmere. And speaking of Dustmere, I would very much like to go to that ball.
Yes, something else is... They said something was coming for Dustmere. I'm trying to find it in my notes.
What are you looking for?
There's the shadow of the...
It was the thing that was going to descend on
the
Dustmere.
hands, all the millions of hands.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, the flood of whatever it was, 1,000 hands or something.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's not a date on that, is there? It's like the ball
It was
is
scheduled for Tuesday. But...
Well, I mean, just thinking if we can get, I'm far enough from Dustmere to not really it concern me, but
anyway, the ball.
I'm sorry, my fellow. I should be taking you more seriously. It's just I haven't mingled with people for a long time, and the prospect is rather.
You mingled with us yesterday.
Yeah,
Did not mingle mean nothing?
What I mean is with higher society.
Were we not high enough society for him?
You guys are fucking.
For shame!
You guys are fucking hunter-scavengers.
You know our backgrounds. You know who we are. Well, I suppose we're not there, so we can't defend ourselves.
I guess.
Start launching lollipops at you.
If you need, I will reach out and see if I can get it. I'll take the sending stick. I haven't worked it out in my head in this entire conversation.
Just wing it. You'll be right.
What I'll send.
Who are you sending it to?
Already got hands.
Okay.
Wait, who's starting?
I'm just going to quickly roll something because I didn't anticipate this.
20.
25, so...
25, cool.
I was
So I'll do 10
fine.
and then...
I can do 5.
Yeah, you
Cool.
got 5 at the end, cool.
I'll do the last 5.
Put them up.
Tiptoeing home.
Wait, it's tiptoeing,
One. Tiptoeing 1.
tiptoeing home.
And then the other 23 words.
Word will reach you soon. party of 8 needed for the ball. Can you help us? Something's coming.
Last 5.
Tell Ali I love her. And yeah.
Okay. So you wait a moment.
And nothing happens.
You hear a sort of. He sounds a bit slurred. God. I can't speak. I'm sorry. And that's all you hear. That's all he says.
That's only 6
We'll
words.
just put our hands away then.
So, what did he? Are we good to go, or?
You would know that I've had a contact in Dustmere that I rang last night, and that would have got a safe, like somewhere to stay, and you could assume would be a decent enough contact that you could probably blag and say, yeah, it's fine.
That's cool. Yes, he's going to make they're going to make the arrangements for us.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, if that's brilliant news, I'll order a sand skiff. I don't know what the date is actually. You'll have to get in contact with me when you speak to Gaspar, and you're telling me all of what juicy things that he says. Then tell me when the date of this ball is. And
Did we see it in the paper?
Didn't have a
It
date.
wasn't in the date.
Okay.
And then I'll organise a sand skiff right away.
I'll do that. I'll keep a lookout for the missing name, and if I find anything else of interest, I'll let you know.
Wonderful. I look forward to it. Please let me know if you're after gold or my favour.
Yes.
I don't think we even negotiated a price.
I will.
I think you gave us a price.
I will double check. I think it was 100 gold a head, wasn't it?
That sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will double check, but I think the gold was the route we were planning to take. I'll double check and.
I'll get it counted. Either way. Yes. Great.
And I'm going to hightail it out of there, and I'm going straight to the room, and I'm breaking that other sending stick.
Okay. What are you? Who are you contacting?
Embrin.
Okay. What are you trying to do?
There's something flying about.
Trying to get it.
Okay, so I would say you haven't been in there that long. These guys are you guys heading back to the rattle anyway?
Yeah.
So you probably
If I see them, I'm just running to that room, and they could probably see that something's not right.
I won't, because I'm at the bar annoying Denny. Denny works behind the bar, doesn't he?
Yeah.
To try and get some idea of local food flavours and
All right,
things.
I'll come back to that. So those of you who are in the bar and you see Ora running across the corridor to the rooms, you go back into the room, you grab the sending stick, and you're going to be using it to call Ember in.
Yep.
Okay. What do you say?
Do I know roughly where he was last time I spoke with him?
He was still in Vorthur.
Okay.
You knew that before. Oh God! You did. When did you last speak to him?
I communicated with him fairly regularly, so I would have. I think I would have spoken to him. I think I would have sent word that I was leaving Dustmere on a hunt.
He would. He would have still been at Vorthur.
Okay.
Right on the edge. Okay, you take up the sending stick. You picture Emberin, your close friend, in your mind, and you snap it, and the coil of scroll inside smokes and smoulders
What are you going to say?
Something's wrong. Coming for Dustmere.
That's one more. Oh no, you.
Coming for Dustmere.
I thought you did Dustmere instead.
I need a friend there. Meet me in the square. Out of the message. How long is it going to take us to get to Dustmere?
I think Yori said it would be between 5 and 10 days on the sand skiff. It depends how quickly you go. In a week, basically.
So it was meet me in the square.
Yeah. 10 more words.
7 days. Reach out to scholars. The Eternal Flood is coming.
Is.
Oh.
The Eternal Flood is.
The Eternal Flood.
Okay.
Coming.
So you guys have used all your sending sticks?
No.
They've got one.
I still have one, bitch. He gave me 2.
Have you not used one yet?
He gave me 2.
refused one.
I used one to call Kaz.
Yeah.
We organised a second one to call him back.
Yeah, and that's that one.
No,
I got 2
you got
separate ones.
Previously.
I got 2. I got 2 from him just now.
Oh, you had another one. I only thought that I'd given you guys 3 in total.
No, because
that's why I went back and I got 2 more.
No worries. Okay, that's my bad.
Suck it.
So you got one more. Okay.
Not for much longer. I'm going to call me ma'am. No.
I'm going to call Gary down the corner.
Any man's dead.
I'm gonna kill
Right.
my huge family. All of them, one by one.
There is a longer pause from this one.
I know he's not asleep. It's like 4 in the afternoon.
Yeah. Ora, gods, this is not safe to talk. I am away from Vorthur. The man that revived you is dead. Find safety. I will
Die.
try.
Oh, that was close.
It's almost like he's a writer.
He's a poet. He didn't know it.
I'm wide now.
Okay, Aura's just pacing frantically, like the entire time he's waiting for the reply, and is just staring out the window,
What time did
wondering what on earth to do right now.
What time did they say we could leave?
It's early evening. It's evening now. The note said that it would be first thing in the morning to leave.
Shall we just bedtime and get ready to...
Do I get anything out of Denny?
Oh, go on, let her up here!
I just like, are there any local spices or things that you use in your food? I just am interested in these things.
Look,
and I would
one
like
thing
to
that
know.
we do, I tell you what, I haven't seen this done many places before, alright? And I don't like to talk about this.
I get out my notebook, by the way.
What we tend to do is we just put the stuff straight on the coals.
Ooh!
Where are we again, sorry?
What?
Where are we? What's the town called again?
Cristamar.
That's it.
Right, straight on the coals. Gets it a nice little bit of burning on there, but not just enough to make it... Gives the cactus a nice little bit of something.
It's like char it.
Yeah. Hot coals. Not too hot, but hot.
It's just makes him look really nervous. No, get my recipe right. Just get my recipe right. Yeah. No, not that much.
Are you basting this with anything? Or is it just...
Don't chuck the liquid on coals. No.
Okay.
Don't tell we want about it. We'd put
Liquid
it out.
on coals. So anything else, like any herbs that you have to this unique to this region, anything that sand is actually useful for in cooking, or nah?
Nah. I've seen a few people use hot sand to cook. So you use it like you put that over the top of like a big bowl, and then you put that on the fire, then you put the sand in the big bowl, and the sand gets real hot, and then you can put stuff in it and cook it in the sand.
Also, like kind of like a sand oven.
Yeah.
A southern.
Bit gritty though. You'd want to wrap it or something, like a potato.
Okay, wrap it.
And some tinfoil.
I'll go ask the devil dude because he's definitely got some hats.
Good old
made out of that.
Pharaoh, our friend Pharaoh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Thanks.
Night.
you guys are going to bed?
And we're all gonna talk.
Yay! Right,
Aura's just...
Aura's only been up for 2 hours.
She's beautiful, isn't she?
Aura's just like
Sleep patterns absolutely fine.
If anyone sees Ora, he's just staring blankly out the window.
Amaya does not, because she's looking through and she's like, okay, what could go good on cold?
We're in the girls' room going, night-night.
Okay, girls are sleeping. Amaya's reading and then sleeping.
I don't know. I would probably go and find them if so I need to ask them about the gold anyway.
Oh yeah, so you guys, I mean, for the sake of brevity,
Should
you
we just
guys
do
can...
gold?
Ora's just going to kick the door in. We need to leave now.
So you can, if you guys have
It could be
decided
more
you're going
fun,
to do
but it'll be
gold,
useful.
then that's fine. We can do
Right,
gold.
okay. Who wants to do gold? Hands up.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
It's
I'm not sure.
It's gold or thieves' favour.
We don't need to.
I'm
Do we
gonna
decide
let
right
the
now?
dice
Yes.
decide.
I'm just going to say
point.
right now, let's you guys, as in
Oh wait,
sake,
hold on, I didn't set any rules.
for the sake of like brevity, you know.
So,
Let's just decide
over 10
now.
gold.
Over 10 gold,
Because I'll do
0
the
to
same.
10 is...
Yeah,
Okay,
gold for
mine
me.
says gold.
Okay, so that's 3 for gold.
So the gold is useful. It lets us buy more stuff, but it's only 100 gold a head, which is not a lot. It wouldn't buy us like much cool shit. A thieves' favor is only 1, and
He might be far away.
he's quite far
He's
away. We
coming
don't
with
really
us.
have any. Well, yeah, but we don't know how long for. If he's going to be staying with us, how much contact we're going to have with him after. I mean, in theory, we
would
can
say
deal with something after once we hit. Like metagaming, once we hit level 3, I have a way to contact him permanently. But he also, to me, does not seem that... He's so, like, a thieves' favour for a guy who I'm pretty sure had already said is not got any contact and doesn't really want anything to do with the biggest, like, crime syndicate in Dustmere.
Yeah.
He's probably not going to have the most powerful thieves' favour. He might be able to forge us some shit, but it won't be very good. And I just don't think his thieves' favour is going to be super useful. Like, but then again, the money's not going to be super useful either. It's only 100 gold a head. So
I mean, yeah, 600 gold
have a lot
collectively.
more, yeah.
So.
yeah, it's more than we have.
Okay.
I
So
would
it
say
can
gold.
get us started and might get us fast passage.
Gold.
Yeah.
Sold.
Yeah,
Gold,
you
gold, gold.
convinced
Sold me
me.
there.
Gold done. Sold me there.
That was a good pitch. That was a nice pitch, Sentinel.
The apprentice.
Okay.
Hey man, I'm just trying to do this fucking quickly. We've got 15 minutes until the end of the session.
So
I'm going to add the gold.
you guys add the gold, 100
Was
gold
he giving it?
each?
Because I didn't think he was going to give it until... Because I think we asked
Yep.
him and he said he wasn't going to do it until after.
No,
When I spoke to him, I said
the,
I would go back, or someone would go back, and
well, also after last night with Ora and the ball, like he's won over. He's going to give you the
sick.
money up front.
Yeah.
He
I
does
feel like
seem a
maybe
little.
just swindled him.
He does seem a little uneasy when he gives you the gold, and it kind of comes with a sort of I'm trusting you to not fuck me.
Well, we'll at
that's
least
why
get
I
him...
sort of did the message in front of him.
Yeah, and he basically like
Trust.
you know, this is to guarantee like you to tell him what Gaspar tells you. Like he's like, that's all I want from you. You know,
Yeah.
the ball, great, see you there, guys. But
He just wants to piss up.
I
He
need
wants
to know what Gaspar said. It's like in the morning he's more lucid than he was with Ora. It's like I need to know what,
I
what
was
Gaspar
sorting
says.
this out before the morning because I don't want to wait until the morning to leave.
We can't. We have to wait until the morning
Yeah,
to
they're
leave. Though.
leaving
So unless you're leaving
early.
without us on a different ship.
The note said ready to go early. You know, like basically dawn, because they won't leave at night.
You're just gonna have to pace all night, mate.
And you can hear it.
Nobody sleeps.
I'm in the same room.
So yeah, so you guys have a peaceful night.
I'll tell them about the Unitas being in trouble and something's not right.
Okay. You guys are also, and we won't do it in this episode. We can summarize it in the next session, but you will have a certain amount of downtime. So for this, you say your goodbyes to Denny, to Pharaoh as you're getting the gold. Dorana's long gone. You make your way to the front of the port. Entin's there. Loite's there, like bandages off his forehead. You're looking a bit more like happy than he ever has, really. They get the skiff ready to go, and you are basically on your way. You can travel either a really quick pace, and that will get you there in 5 days, but you will have disadvantage on all of your perception checks, and passive takes a -5, or you can travel at a normal pace and you can make your perception checks. That will take you 7 days, and you can have advantage of all your perception checks, and it will take 10 days at a slower pace.
We need to get there fast.
Okay, fine. We'll don't
I
take
think-
the disadvantage then.
Freya's passive perception is still higher than pretty much anything that can be rolled.
So,
at
yeah, I mean, it
-5.
sounds like he's convinced you that
shit's going down anyway. So, okay. So, the vapor engine is fixed. And Yori's telling you how it will be singing properly now. And as you start moving off, they start taking you their familiar height, about 50 feet. I think that's what's 50 feet? It's about just over a house high. And then he starts pulling up like the engine proper, and you hear it whining much louder than you ever had before. And it takes you up a good 100 to 200 feet. And you can see everything like you've never seen it before. The patterns of the sand, the pastel bands, you can see them for once. It's like a sea of them, and they bend and twist in ways. You've been out there for so many weeks and you've never seen it like this. And behind you, you see the Cragmore moving away from you as you finally leave it behind. It is hot on the boat during the day, but Yori's pretty adamant, like, we can only travel certain, in the day, we can't travel at night, and he takes you up to outcrops of rock. So I'm not gonna get you guys have done a lot of traveling on this, so I'm not gonna do a really laborious skill checks or anything like that. You guys are helping around on the boat. You do have that, if you're going quick, 5 days of downtime, which obviously you only have the resources that you have on the boat with you. But if you have a think about it before next week, we can see if there's anything you wanted to do, like if it was craft or try and learn something or whatever, or read anything.
You know mine.
Yes, yeah. There's stuff that you have as well you haven't read. I don't know, I'm going to ask you outside because I think there's people might have forgotten or whatever. 5 days of downtime, so just remember that.
I would like to pace for 5 days.
What is your passive with a -5?
60.
Okay. So there is only one. Actually, no, I need to roll to see if that is that one. Okay. On your second day, you see something in the distance, Freya. It is a black strip in the pastel bands, like a sliver of coal in a stack of rocks. And you at the moment you see it, Yori turns the boat. The whole thing just skiffs suddenly, turns to the side, the engine whines really loud, and you start diving away. And he seems really panicked, but he doesn't say anything. He's just moving away from the black strip.
Right.
And you're probably the only one that's caught that. So is there anything you want to do, or are you just going to let him do his thing?
Yori! What was that?
The black strip, you see it?
Yep, I see that.
What
black strip?
You see over there? It's really far away.
Oh, yay!
He's taking you over. It probably shocked all of you because he banked really tight. We need to give it as wide a berth as possible. It's a Cristamar. It's something under the sand. It leaves a chemical mark in there. Sometimes people will he's shouting at you over the wind. It's so loud. Sometimes people will leave burning wicks there to warn people off at night. It lives in the sand, and we want to stay as far away from it as possible. And he cuts back down. Don't know if any of you would know anything about that, to be honest. It's kind of you can roll for it if you like.
It's encyclopedia.
Yeah, I was going to say.
All right, yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. Encyclopedia. Okay.
I would like.
Okay, roll. What would it be? A nature check with advantage, I guess.
Have you
or are you just going to have a look through it?
Isn't it Eugene's book? Didn't you give it to Eugene?
It's his encyclopedia that he bought, right?
Yeah.
But didn't he buy it for Eugene?
I just left it on the pedestal. I never got as far as actually giving it to him, and that's you do it.
Well, I mean, if Eugene's got it, you know.
Well,
he's
I mean,
got it, so it's up to you.
Do you want to do it?
Well, you can roll. I would give you the book because you at least would have looked through when you were looking for the crane. So
that's an 11.
With advantage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a minus. I've got -1.
This is I've halved the DC from what I had because you have a book with it. So a Cristamar is there's no pictures of it. There's a small section in the book, and it's very much it's like a section of the Loch Ness monster in an encyclopedia. People are but it's a creature that's said to be one of the oldest in the desert. It's massive. People believe that it's the creatures were created for about 5,000 years ago.
they're very much like unknown, not much known about them, and they have a very strange and magical past. So some people, like 5,000 years ago was before the Age of Ascension, which is when the ones above left. So that was when a lot of people thought that creatures were just spawning without the sort of god's guidance, and it was believed to be one of those things, but it's very sort of shrouded in myth. So he takes you around it, and then you guys, for the next couple of next day, you move with it without issue, and then that night, it depends if anyone's looking actually, because it's getting dark, and you guys have got a negative on your perception. So your passive is at 17. 16.
We're travelling at night as well.
Only when it's the dusk, so it's just started. Sun started setting, and this is when Yuri will normally look.
Telescope around it.
Oh, you got a telescope. Oh yeah, your one.
Glass.
Okay, have a quick look. Yours is a 16, right? Yeah. You probably see that there's down below. There's a group of Khazels, sort of running across the sands. Yeah.
That was like a 3 with disadvantage, unless it would have been straight with the spyglass.
Yeah, it would have been straight. Yeah.
Are we going for the deep sands?
You are in the deep sands right now.
It's a natural 1.
That's why he's taking you so high.
That's a natural 1.
Okay, yeah. So Freya sees a group of Khazels below, but Yuri seems relatively calm. And then it's as you're like looking around at this point. It's been a couple of nights out at the sands. You're looking for an outcrop to park up against. And you see, but from beneath the Khazels, a worm erupts out of the ground, and it engulfs 3 of them. You can't see it; it's far away. It's dark. It doesn't look purple, but it is big, and it eats like 2 or 3 of these Khazels, and just like into the air, and the sand like cascading off its sides. But Yuri seems to keep going.
I'm glad we didn't walk.
Yeah. And then I guess actually, who would be looking at this? So you saw the Khazels.
I was looking the opposite direction.
So
I'd probably be helping to look.
Okay, so just give me 2 passive. Just give me 2 perception checks then. It is at disadvantage because you're going quickly.
Oh, fuck off! There's a nat 20.
11.
Perception 4. Can't I
Okay,
have
I'll
my
roll
nat
for
20?
Yuri.
Plus.
Everyone else is asleep. Okay. Yuri doesn't see it either. As an 11, you see the ground around it sort of shifting around the worm.
Can I yell out, Yuri, below, worm, or not? Maybe not
Yeah.
worm. Like
sand
moving.
Oh, okay. When you say sand moving, he's like, it's just a worm. And then when you say that the sand's moving, he, like, Tin actually runs to the edge of the boat and looks down. And she then immediately runs over to Yuri and like starts waving, and he tilts the boat. The skiff turns again, even more like severely than when you saw the strip. And as the worm crashes into the hazels and sort of loops around in the air to go to smash down into the sand, you hear Yuri shout something, and something like a worm-like shape wraps around the worm as it's like in the air, and holds it, and then like it rises out of the ground, and then another tendril-like thing erupts, holding the buried section of the worm.
Is this a desert kraken or something?
And like you're so far above that all you can hear is the wind, and then the third tendril erupts and grabs this worm that's now completely held up in the air and just pulls it down into what is now sand that's like twisting around, like down into a plug hole, and it just yanks it down into this moor. And Yuri's like shouting "Kor, Kamor," and like tilting the boat down, and he just sends you screaming down to a dune, and you start shooting off, and he takes you into the night for quite a while. You can tell he's really sweating at the helm, and they take you onto another outcrop, and that is a fitful night's rest.
So like a sarlacc, basically.
And he says that, you know, he says that it's a rare sight to see. You know, some people sail the whole sand their whole lives and they'll never see it.
Lucky us.
Yeah.
And then, I guess, with your downtime, we'll wait for you guys to hear next week. Ahmaya, it would be probably one of the nights where you're trying to settle down. You hear the same bird song again that you did in Dustmere.
Cristamar.
Sorry, Cristamar, not Dustmere.
At this point, Amaya thinks she's going mad.
It is, because it does feel out of place. Like
It's just
there is no there are no birds here. You're out in the depths of the sands, and but you remember the verdant range again. You remember the sounds of the birds, and it's almost haunting for a while, because it's just impossible for you to figure out. There are no birds here. And then you hear something saying, "Fix me," on the wind one night.
Do I recognise the voice
No.
at all?
No, you hear a flittering of a bird nearby. And it says, "Find me."
Oh, find me. You just said
It
fix me a
it
minute
said
ago.
"Fix me," and then it said "Find me."
I don't.
It says "Fix me and find me"
Okay.
one night. And then as
Who
you're
are you?
drifting, it doesn't respond. And then it says, "Daughter of silt and wind."
What, silt?
And then nothing. It goes as quickly as it came. And that is where we'll end today's session.
I don't know if I've completely forgotten stuff. That makes no sense to me at all.
Good.
Like almost
D&D.
almost like frustratingly so, because I'm like, I don't understand.
Welcome to
Is it the-
D&D.
Did we do
check
a
on the
level
sword
yet?
on the boat.
You guys are leveling up, yes.
Yeah!
Should
Do you want to go first, or are you still adding up?
Well, I got 5 on the dice.
Nice. And what's your con mod?
Oh no, I got 3 on the dice.
I got 2 as well.
Nice.
Painful.
And I'll take another cleric level.
Nice.
Another level of sorcerer. And 7 on the dice, +1, cheeky 8.
Hey,
21 hit points.
Have you overtaken Moxie again?
Finally!
What have you got?
Yeah, no, I rolled a 2.
That's more wizard.
That's about right.
So yeah, another level of wizard.
I got 2 plus my +4 from con.
Oh, so 6 total.
Yeah,
Nice.
but it didn't add the dice value that I rolled.
Oh, fair enough. And what
Okay.
what level? Do you know what you're taking next?
I am taking another level in sorcerer.
Nice.
So I rolled a 7, and with my con, my health is now 29.
Big boy
I
numbers.
thought my con's really high.
Damn.
You got more than me.
Yeah.
I got 27.
Oh, damn. How many
So
you
yeah,
taken?
and so another artificer, and I'll be specialising obviously in alchemist.
Very nice.
Really?
Hey.
Yeah, who would have thought?
Yeah, you've nearly double my hit.
And Ahmaya?
So I rolled a 10 on the dice and +3, so I've now got 33 hit points.
Fuck
Got
off.
more than double.
That's a
And-
beefy lady.
I'll be honest, no idea what I get at level 3. I'm just gonna probably be more fightery.
Yeah, another level fight. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.